Welcome, welcome, welcome into another day and another lesson in A Course in Miracles. Yesterday we were on lesson 117. God being love is also happiness, and that we are seeking but what belongs to us in truth, and that is love and joy being our heritage, and that we want to accept the gifts that God has given us, all that's ours in truth. And so today we're moving to lesson 118. God's peace and joy are mine, are yours, are ours. And let's be still and listen to the truth. And speaking of being still and listening to the truth, let's take just a couple of minutes to get still, to bring in our lessons from yesterday, tap into that happiness that is love, that is God, by closing your eyes or settling your gaze a few inches in front of you. And tapping into that God, that love energy, which is also happiness. And it's also yours in truth. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose. And letting it out. Either out through the mouth or out through the nose, whatever feels best for today, but really focusing on fully expanding and fully releasing. Feeling the breath fill the body and letting all the breath leave and empty. No state of rush or hurry. Letting ourselves get still. Two more breaths here, continuing to let everything slow down. And as you finish up on that last breath, wiggle your fingers and your toes to gently bring yourself back to the space. God's peace and joy are yours. Today you will accept God's peace and joy in glad exchange for all the substitutes that you have made for happiness and peace. Today, you will accept God's peace and joy in glad exchange for all the substitutes that you have made for happiness and peace. And then let's be still and listen to the truth. So let our own feeble voice be still, and let us hear the mighty voice for truth itself assure us that we are God's perfect creation. So the feeble voice, you're not enough. You're not lovable. You're guilty. Whatever that, or maybe it could go in the opposite direction as well. But nope, we want to let us hear the mighty voice for truth. Assure us. Isn't that so just kind and loving? Being assured that we are God's perfect creation, despite whatever we think we've made of ourselves. So I'm going to get started. So we are in review number 3, where we go over 2 lessons a day. If you want to hear that introduction to review number 3 in totality, just hop back over to lesson 111, where all the instructions are. But as soon as you wake up, or shortly after you wake up, and as soon as possible before you go to sleep, preferably within the hour before you go to sleep or right before you go to sleep, we want to spend at least 5 minutes, more if you prefer it, being with the lessons, the 2 lessons for the day. And then as we go through the day, we want to do the first lesson, God's peace and joy, our mind for today, on the hour. And then let me be still and listen to the truth on the half hour. I don't believe I've mentioned this before, but one useful tool, and please, if you know of any others, feel free to share them in the chat, is the app ACIM Remind. I believe there's some sort of small charge for it, but you have to remember to go in every day and put whatever the lesson is that you're on, but then you just put the reminders, and then it's already designed to know it already knows what the lesson says. So if it says every 4 times a day, the reminder will come 4 times a day, and you can choose the hours it's between. But yeah, if you were to put on lesson 118 and put the reminders on, you would get the first lesson, God's peace and joy our mind, on every hour, and let me be still and listen to the truth on every half hour. So it's helpful to have that just on your phone throughout the day. And maybe if you've come up with any other helpful ways of connecting with these or know of any other resources, please feel free to share that in the comments. And we're going to get into these 5 minutes, and I'll do what I've been doing for the past number of lessons, where I will go through it in a way where you can repeat after me in I and me statements. And then like about halfway through the practice, the 5 minutes, I'll go into the second one to be with that. Let's get started. God's peace and joy are mine. Today I will accept God's peace and joy in glad exchange for all the substitutes that I have made for happiness and peace. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Let my own feeble voice be still, and let me hear the mighty voice for truth itself. Assure me that I am God's perfect Son. Wow, those 5 minutes go by so fast. Quickly want to go over just a few things from the review. I like to do a little bit at random. I love this. So this is speaking to the hour and half hour. We understand, of course, it may be impossible for you to undertake what is suggested here as optimal each day and every hour of the day. Learning will not be hampered when you miss a practice period because it is impossible at the appointed time. Nor is it necessary that you make excessive efforts to be sure that you catch up in terms of numbers. Rituals are not our aim. That would defeat our goal. But learning will be hampered when you skip a practice period because you're unwilling to devote time to it that you're asked to give. Do not deceive yourself in this. Unwillingness can be most carefully concealed behind a cloak of situations you can't control. Learn to distinguish situations that are poorly suited to your practicing from those that you establish to uphold as a camouflage for unwillingness. Those practice periods that you have lost because you did not want to do them, for whatever reason, should be done as soon as you've changed your mind about the goal. You are unwilling to cooperate in practicing salvation only if it interferes with goals that you hold more dear. When you withdraw the value that you give those goals that you hold more dear, then you can allow your practice periods to be replacements for your litanies to all those other goals. They gave you nothing, but your practicing can offer everything to you. And so accept their offering and be at peace. I love it. So, yeah. And then, gosh, there's this other one that I really wanted to, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Here we go. No, I haven't found it yet, so we'll see when it wants to show up. But It's about us really, like the whole point of this is that we really get used to bringing it into everything about and in our day. And lastly, I've always been ending on this. So this second chance with each of these ideas will bring such large advances that we come from these reviews with learning gains so great, we will continue on more solid ground, with firmer footsteps and with stronger faith. So do not forget how little you've learned. Do not forget how much you can learn now. Do not forget your Father's need of you as you review these thoughts He gave to you. Much love, and I will look forward to joining with you tomorrow as we move along to lesson 119. But before we get there, God's peace and joy are yours. Let's be still and listen to the truth. Much love, and I'll look forward to joining with you tomorrow. And I might have already said that.